Is R&B dead? As long as the 90s are living, the R&B would never die. Now, as far as who's into this generation, I have no idea. But I'm still listening to Bobby Brown, I'm still listening to New Edition, I'm still listening to even Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson is probably from the 50s and the 60s when we start talking about gap banging. So no, R&B is not dead, it's just living through the 90s. If my child was being bullied, how would I handle it? That's really interesting because I come from a different generation than the generation now. Because your generation is more of, hey, we don't want any problems, we don't want any violence. And the generation I was raised in, if someone hit you in your nose, you had to go back out there and fight. I remember my mother making me go out and fight with the kids when they bullied me. She literally would say, if you don't go out there and fight them, you're gonna have another fight when you come up in this house. And I was undefeated in the neighborhood, but not because I was just so bad, I was just that afraid of my mother. But to be fair to your question, I probably, because you all don't know how to fight, you all like to shoot folk now, I probably say trying to show them some other way to try to resolve this issue. Like, look, be funny, figure out how to be smart, learn how to evade, because they're not gonna fight fair. And and listen, if you do hit them, be able to run. How do I stay motivated? I stay motivated because I stay aligned with my assignment. I'm in alignment with my assignment. This is not something that I need to look on the outside for. When I search on the inside of me, I know I am driven about making this a better place when I leave. I'm building for legacy at this point. I'm not building for fortune, I'm not building for fame. I'm building that one day there'll be a kid that say, you know something, Maximus Wright is the reason why I'm accepting this Academy Award at this time. Maximus Wright is the reason my life changed, because I knew what it felt like when there was someone who reached out to me and helped me when I needed it most. And that was the greatest feeling in the world, to feel like somebody cared about you, somebody had your interest at heart. And I want someone to be able to say that about me. I want to live a life in such a way that people are inspired, that they can see that they're capable of much more than what they're doing. It bothers me when I see people who are from Mississippi who don't know that they're kings and they're queens and that they are the best. You cannot talk about entertainment without bringing Mississippi in, whether it's writing, whether it's singing, and we need to make sure it's also in film. So that drives me, because I feel like I have a calling. I feel like there's a mission that I'm supposed to accomplish before I leave this world. So, in light of the Me Too movement, how has that affected the casting couch, right? Well, so when we were getting ready to do Soul Damage, I had some buddies, man, and my buddies, they definitely used to swarm around the set, because there were a lot of beautiful women. So obviously they were trying to see who they could get on with and that kind of stuff. And I had a friend girl at the time who was a lawyer, and she came up here and said, look, you got to really talk to these guys and let them know that you can be liable if they do something. So the approach that I have taken towards the casting couch is the same approach I take towards the church. If I'm gonna preach at the church, I better keep my nose clean, because this is the last place I want, because you might just get scandalized in the church, but if you mess up on this thing, they're gonna take you for everything you got. Ask Harvey Weinstein. So I have no plans on becoming Harvey Weinstein Jr. at all. Do I like how African Americans are currently being represented in film and television? Yes. The reason is because we're not monolithic. We are varied. We are different. When you start looking at the Atlanta franchise is really good with diversity. There are some people who have some controversy about the woman king, but that's a perspective. There's history there, but that is still part of our history. I just want to get to the point that we're not just doing slave pictures. Slave is a part, but we have a much more rich history than just slavery. And I am glad to see that there are other projects that are coming out. I like what Shonda Rhimes is doing. I'm on the fence about how they're reimagining some things, because the way they're reimagining some projects is that they're taking projects that were historically white and they're infusing blacks into those projects. And from a historical standpoint, I don't quite know where I stand on it yet. I do want us to be included, but I more so want to see the truth come out. So those are some of the kind of things that I'm kind of on the fence about. But to answer your question, I am happy with the way I'm starting to see us being represented. JayZ will never be the greatest rapper. Now, in my opinion, I just can't stand his voice. That's it. Other than that, I just don't like the way he sounds. I just can't stand his sound. But that brother is the most enlightened human being I've seen in hip hop. I can't wait to hear what he's gonna say about something, but I hate to hear him rap it. I just wish he would just say his lyrics as opposed to rap it.